Welcome back to The Real Deal. I'm your host, Kim Hollingshead. We are here every single Saturday, but if you didn't catch the entire episode, definitely catch us on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, anywhere that these programs are aired. And of course, go find me on social media, you guys. We post a ton of reels all the time. Catch up on these past episodes. You guys, we're talking about what would have happened in this Afroman case if it was actually had occurred here in Tennessee instead of in Ohio. Number one, we went over the fact that government officials here enjoy a great deal of immunity. However, number two, they cannot sue you for defamation of character if you speak out on something that they did wrong. Okay, this lawsuit probably would have never gotten to trial in Tennessee. It would have been dismissed immediately. So love that, okay? But number three, also, it's very important for people to understand that you do have a right in Tennessee to defend your property. You do not have to back down. Now, of course, there is no duty to retreat from your home. If somebody is breaking into your home, you can pull out your weapon and you can take that person out. Great. Okay. I was raised in a home with a father who would have absolutely done it. I remember that there was a time I was in high school and somebody tried to break into our house, and my dad, bless him, stood at the top of the stairs and he said, "Well, I've got a gun and I'm going to shoot you if you try to come in that door. So don't open it, okay? Just turn around and go on your way." And sure enough, that's exactly what that person did, okay? Because my daddy was absolutely going to shoot them, did. In Tennessee, you can do that. In other states, more liberal states, you don't have that exact same right, but in Tennessee you do. Praise God. But what do you do in Afroman's case? So the police are coming in, they're doing a raid, they're banging down the door. In Tennessee, you do still have that right to defend your property, even against law enforcement. However, you cannot do that if you know that it's law enforcement at your door. Okay? Y'all, please do not be confused about this. You cannot use deadly force on a police officer if you know that the police are raiding your home and then try to claim a stand your ground. It's not going to work. Guys, police officers do an amazing job in this state. They're incredible. And they go to work I cannot imagine what they go through and the things that they see on a daily basis. I mean, they are some very strong individuals, and I am so grateful for the police in this state. So if the police are coming into your home, they have a valid search warrant, and even if they're doing a raid, let them in, be reasonable, keep everybody safe, and just let them come in and do their job, please, okay? Number four is the right of publicity in Tennessee is much stronger than the right of publicity in Ohio. This is a very interesting, fun fact about, living in Nashville. The country music is here in Middle Tennessee. We've got Music Row. And our great governor, Governor Lee, was absolutely instrumental in going to great lengths in protecting the images of individuals, their likeness, their voice, okay, their images, so that, country music stars can be protected. So people I know that you guys have seen this, all these fake ads on TikTok, and it looks like Taylor Swift and it sounds like Taylor Swift and she's selling a vacuum cleaner or something. It's not her. That is illegal. You cannot do that here in this state because we have these Elvis laws, which I think I love the name of that. But your image and your likeness is protected here in a much greater way than it is in most states. Now, what would have happened in the Afroman case? Afroman still would have won, okay? Because the First Amendment right to satire is going to trump any kind of an Elvis law all day long. And you are allowed to use someone's image and likeness in case of, if it's in the public interest, if it's a news story, and of course, satire, which this was. So absolutely love this story. I love this case. I find it to be absolutely fascinating, like I said at the top of the show. And really, the reason is because there is a huge lesson for all of us in this. The lesson is this, that life can serve you lemons, but serve up the lemon pound cake, baby. I loved his approach to this. He was angry, he was hurt, and he felt like there was an injustice. It wasn't fair what had happened to him. He felt powerless, and he decided to take back his power. And he did it in a way that he used the tools that he had. These are his God-given gifts. He's hilariously funny. He's a great rapper. He has the means to produce these amazing songs, and he stuck them out on TikTok, and he made back every single penny of the $20,000 that the police took from him, and plus more. And now he has turned the situation into making himself a household name again, which he wasn't before. He had kind of, fallen into obscurity a little bit. I love this. You don't have to be ugly about it. You don't have to go around suing people for defamation like these police officers did. You can absolutely handle yourself by sharing your story, speaking your truth, not backing down, not shying away, and, really just taking a bad situation and turning it for good. And, of course, you guys know that I'm a believer, and we've talked about this on the program so many times about how God turns everything for good if you let him. But you have to trust him, and you have to just go with the flow. And that's exactly what Afroman did. At the end of this trial, when he was standing there and the jury was reading the verdict, I encourage everybody to go online and to watch the video of him as the jury is reading that verdict. He has tears streaming down his face. He is standing there in the American flag suit with this American flag sunglasses and his big afro. And he's been a character the entire trial, and he's been fun and funny. But standing there listening to that, I felt so deeply for him that it was almost like God was shining his light down on Afroman in that moment and saying, you know what, you're not a perfect person, and none of us are, and that's why we all need Jesus. But I'm proud of you in the way that you handled yourself in this situation. And because you did it in the right way, you've got your verdict, you've won this lawsuit, and also you can see the relief on his face that he and his family are safe financially. Because not only did these police officers raid his home, damage his property, and not even say that they were sorry for it, they actually sued him to put the financial future of him and his entire family completely at risk. And I find that to be deplorable and unacceptable on every single level. So the next time that life is going to serve you lemons, you serve up that lemon pound cake, okay? Don't go suing people. I want you to serve up the lemon pound cake, and just always remember this lesson that we all learned from Afroman. I want you to be able to stand there with your head held high and be proud of your actions to the point where you can openly shed tears in court to be grateful and thankful and relieved at the way that everything shook out for you. You guys, that's all we can ask for in life, because bad things are going to happen to us, but it's all in the way that we handle them, right? Use your voice, use your choice. Have a wonderful weekend, you guys. I love you all. Thank you for being here. I'll see you next week.